Hi class, and welcome to this video on VCE Year 12 Economics, which is going to cover the concept of economic efficiency, which is part of our Unit 3 Outcome 1 part of our study design. I hope that you get out of this video an understanding of the meaning, so the understanding of the definition and the importance of 4 different types of efficiency we consider in economics, namely allocative, productive, dynamic and intertemporal. And then we're going to think about how the efficiency of resource allocation affects the markets that we operate in. Now you can see that we're getting to the end of our Outcome 1 study design, and there is going to be some assumed knowledge around supply and demand and production possibility frontiers. And if you're a bit unsure of these, you might want to watch a few previous videos. But we are going to take a step back and look at the key economic problem. Economies and economists acknowledge the problem of scarcity. Economies have, and the people within them, have unlimited needs and wants and limited resources. So an economy is trying to make good choices around what it's going to produce, how to produce it, and for whom they will be produced for, because an economy that maximizes outcomes is an economy that is efficient in allocating their scarce resources. How can we allocate our scarce resources to maximize the wants and needs? One answer is to be as efficient as possible. That seems relatively simple. In Year 12 Economics, however, we recognise that efficiency is different when looking at different lenses. And we're going to consider 4 types of efficiency: allocative efficiency, technical or productive efficiency, dynamic efficiency, and intertemporal efficiency. And they all have slightly different meanings, or in fact different meanings, and so a country or business might be efficient in one way and not in another way, and it's important to consider those implications. The first one we're going to think about is allocative efficiency. Now, if we have a business or an economy that is allocated its resources efficiently, so has allocative efficiently, this has occurred if the goods and services that people want will be produced in the best possible way using the most efficient production methods. So we have allocative efficiency if we have maximized the satisfaction of needs and wants of society. So we have maximized satisfaction if we have allocative efficiency, because we have allocated our resources so well it is efficient. So when allocative efficiency occurs, no resources will be wasted. It will be impossible for someone to make someone better off without making someone worse off. So how can we allocate, whether we've been allocative efficient or how we can improve it? We are looking to try and reduce waste and increase the living standards. Now, on what point of this production possibility frontier diagram is allocative efficiency achieved? At the point where we have maximized the needs and wants. So at one point on this production possibility frontier, let's just guess here, we have met the needs of our citizens, because in this case they have demanded 275 guitars and 300 computers. That maximizes our efficiency, and we allocate our resources like so. This is different to technical or productive efficiency. This occurs when it is not possible to increase your output without increasing your inputs. So we are being technically efficient when productivity is at a maximum and average costs are at a minimum. So what do you notice here? We have not talked about, needs and wants, or maximizing your needs and wants. We're just thinking, how technically efficient are we? Are we producing things at the most maximum amount? Have we maximized our output? So the only way to be more, if we can improve technical efficiency, is if we're able to produce more using the same inputs. So we might increase labor productivity, for example. So where could, on the point of production possibility frontier, could technical efficiency be achieved? Well, allocative efficiency could be achieved at only one point, where needs and wants are maximized. There are many points you can achieve technical efficiency at any point along the production possibility frontier, because we're not as worried about needs and wants, but just are we being as kept our productivity at a maximum. So the difference between them is allocative efficiency implies that markets are free to respond to patterns of consumer demand. On the other hand, technical efficiency relates to businesses producing goods and services at its lower cost. So we're considering about what consumers are actually demanding in allocative efficiency. Technical efficiency, we're just worried, are we producing goods and services at the lowest cost? Now, dynamic efficiency recognizes that businesses' economies change according to needs and wants. And dynamic efficiency is considering how quickly can an economy reallocate its resources to achieve allocative efficiency when needs and wants change. To have a dynamic economy and have dynamic efficiency, you need to be very mobile and flexible and have mobile resources and a flexible workforce. So if we think about allocative efficiency being at one point of time at D, so I'm going to call that allocative efficiency 1. Let's say that the customer's needs and wants change, and allocative efficiency at the second point in time is now here. To be dynamically efficient, the business or economy needs to really quickly change its production. And that is not an easy thing to do. But the more efficient you are at changing to meet the needs and wants, the more dynamic efficiency you have. Now, some prices and parts of the economy are really slow to adjust and seen as sticky or have low dynamic efficiency. But COVID-19 and just other parts of the economy have been quite dynamic and have shown that they are able to change with the times and needs and wants. Now, the final part of efficiency is what we call intertemporal efficiency. Now, this focuses not on the production possibility frontier, but the balancing of allocation of resources and in particular consumption between different time periods. Intertemporal efficiency acknowledges there is a balance between satisfying your current needs and wants and future needs and wants. Apologies. Now, for example, when we consider consuming finite resources, we should be considering how are we going to meet the living standards of the current generation while not impacting the living standards of future. So an economist would consider something to be sufficient or temporarily efficient if it is being considering the future generations as well as the short term. So economists will consider things like whether sufficient investment is being made into future generations, even if the cost is high and the benefit might seem quite limited in the short term. So there's lots of complementary links between these types of efficiency. So for example, if an economy is able to achieve technical efficiency, so it can generate maximum amount of goods at its lower cost, it's likely it might be able to maximize society's needs and wants, allocative efficiency, if it just thinks about what the customer wants. And if an economy is dynamic, it's likely going to be able to meet the allocative and technical efficiency faster when things change. But it does not guarantee this. An economy can be technically efficient, but create goods that no one wants. So in that case, we have technical efficiency, but not allocative efficiency. And producing goods at the lowest cost possible, so being technically efficient, might really impact future generations. So it might not be intertemporal efficient. So it might be cheaper, for example, to use coal power to produce your goods, but it might be not great for future generations. Now, it's going to be important to understand that the different type of market structures influence resource allocation and efficiency. I'm going to skim through this because we've covered this before. The perfectly competitive market has a number of conditions and assumptions, but a perfect competitive market is likely going to be the only one that's going to be able to achieve real efficiency of resource allocation, because all the other ones will not. So allocative, technical, dynamic, and intertemporal efficiency, and you're welcome to pause this video if you'd like, allows these to be satisfied. However, other market structures, monopolistic, oligopolies, and monopolies will make it much harder to achieve efficiency. So, for example, when competition in a market is limited, like a monopoly or an oligopoly, there is less incentive to allocate resources efficiently, and thus allocative efficiency is difficult to attain because we're not going to meet the needs and wants of our citizens. In oligopolies and monopolies, producers will tend to limit the supply in order to create a shortage, driving the price up. And this is inefficient. As available resources are unused, we're not meeting the needs and wants of our citizens, so we're not meeting technical and allocative efficiency. So there's issues with these market structures. But with that, guys, and more importantly, I hope that if we skim back a little bit, that you have got a good understanding of these four types of efficiency: allocative, technical, dynamic, and intertemporal, and an understanding of how they are different, but really all important in ensuring that we have an efficient, effective economy that is allocating resources in the most efficient and most effective way.